Mindy Project Season 2, Episode 14, The Desert. So this is a pretty big episode. Lots of super exciting stuff happening. But it starts out with Mindy crying in bed, drinking a bottle of wine, because Cliff broke up with her in the previous episode. So she's watching Gone with the Wind and decides that, like Scarlett O'Hara, she needs to get her man back. So she books a flight to New York, and while she's packing up to go there, she's talking to Danny and says that she needs to go get Cliff back, but Danny wants her to actually go with him to go visit his estranged father. Mindy says no, she can't do that. She has to go back to New York because she already left Cliff a voicemail saying that she was coming. And, oh, by the way, Danny, can you drive me to the airport? So Danny says yes, he'll drive her to the airport, and while she's sleeping in the car on the way to the airport, he actually drives her down to his dad's house to come with him to visit his dad. So while this is all happening, back in New York, Peter and Morgan overhear Cliff through the vents crying and listening to Jewel songs. It's pretty sad. So they figure out that he and Mindy broke up, and then as they're leaving for the day, they see him in the elevator and decide that they're going to invite him out for a boys' night, where they talk to him and realize that he was the one who actually broke up with Mindy and that was a terrible idea, and they end up convincing him that he needs to also try to get Mindy back. So back in LA, Danny and Mindy are visiting Danny's new father and his new family and daughter, little Danny. So Danny's starting to see that his dad is a really good dad to his new daughter and feeling really confused about this and wondering why he wasn't a good dad to him and his brother. So Mindy needs to go to the airport now, so she leaves while Danny decides that he's going to go take a walk in the desert while he's drunk and it's getting dark out. So he calls Mindy later and says that he's lost in the desert. Will she come pick him up? Mindy decides that yes, she will, even though it means missing another flight back to New York to see Cliff. So she goes, finds him in the desert, and they're walking back, and Mindy's super mad at Danny for making her miss the flight, but they still get back. So the next day they visit little Danny's soccer game, and little Danny talks to Mindy and says that to win Cliff back, she should write him a letter. And then at the same time, Danny and his father are talking, and his father apologizes for what happened in Danny's life and not being there for him, and says that he really would like Danny to be involved in their lives now, especially in the life of little Danny. So they start agreeing with things and decide that they're going to be in each other's lives now. So now Mindy and Danny are flying back to New York, and Mindy's working on her letter to Cliff. Danny decides that he's going to help her and writes a super beautiful letter saying things about how she's really sorry that she toyed with his heart. One of the things specifically was that you know you're right for someone when they force you to be the best version of yourself, which that really hits home. And it hits home for Danny, realizing that Mindy is that person for him. She's the one who made him reconnect with his father and helped him through everything and to become a better person. So Mindy goes into the back of the airplane to get Danny a tonic water to thank him for helping her write the letter. And while she's back there, Danny's realizing that Mindy is the right person for him. She makes him a better person. He wants to be with Mindy. So he goes back into there, and right as they come together, it's amazing. So they kiss. Mindy's looking super confused. Her eyes are open. She doesn't really know what's happening. They break away, still looking at each other. Mindy does this little tiny head nod saying, like, yes, it's okay. They start kissing again. So awesome. It's something that you've been waiting for the entire season, that Danny finally realizes that he is attracted to Mindy and he does like Mindy, and you finally get to see them get together for the first time. So super excited things are coming for the rest of the season, and stay tuned.